and I said, I was under home arrest for 7 years. I came out of jail. I've read 4 books on Islam since getting out of jail. Romanians don't know their own history. I had a car crash at 28, so my retirement was final. Andrew's at war with the world, and he always has been. People say, like, oh, it's weird you share a house. I've got 9 bedrooms. You've seen this place. They want you all divided.
Where did your views come from? I mean, both you and your brother seem to have a very coherent worldview.
Yeah.
That even if I didn't agree with it, of course I do, but if I didn't, I would still think, boy, these guys have thought it through. You left school at 16.
16.
You both became professional fighters.
Yes.
So how did this develop?
We had very little else to do than to. This is no joke. Like, people joke, they say, how do you feel being under home arrest? I joke and I say, I was under home arrest for 7 years. I was broke, my car had no gas, and I had nowhere to go. I was in a smaller apartment than this. I was in self-imposed home arrest from having no money. Me and Andrew have never had much to do, but we've always loved discussing ideas. And we're always with the other person, who at least is matched intellectually. And we've agreed on things and disagreed on things. Even now, like I said, he's a Muslim, I'm a Christian. I came out of jail, I've read 4 books on Islam since getting out of jail. Why? Not necessarily to counter-argue with him, but just to learn more about issues that are important to him. We read books on history, and I think if you have a very good understanding of history, you can understand the problems in the modern world. Yes. And that's a massive problem. I get mad at Romanians for it. Romanians don't know their own history. And I'll literally get mad at Romanians for not knowing their history.
Like medieval history or like Ceausescu history, recent history?
Even if you take World War II history.
Yes.
For example, every single Romanian city and Romanian village has a little war memorial in the middle, listing all the names of the people who died. I say to Romanians, where did these men fight? Where did they die? Nobody knows that when Paulus's army approached Stalingrad,
I was about to say they died in Stalingrad.
Exactly, his entire rear guard was Romanians and Italians.
That's exactly right.
And Zhukov's counterattack, out of 259,000 Romanian soldiers, 139,000 died in that counterattack.
And then the rest got dragged into Stalin's Russia and never came back.
And when Romanians don't know that, I get offended. I'm like, how can you not know that? How can you be proud of being a Romanian and drive past that monument every single day and not know where those men fought and died? So even out of respect for the country I live in, I'll learn its history. So I just, when you know history, you can look at the modern world and see what's wrong with it, what's right with it, what's going wrong, what could go wrong. And I feel like an understanding of history is the basis of mine and Andrew's knowledge, if you can even call it knowledge. Because I don't consider myself a professional at anything, besides maybe kickboxing. And that's it.
Do you miss it?
No, I'm lucky. I had a car crash at 28, ruined my shoulder, so my retirement was final. I had to retire. I had one MMA fight after that, and I lost because my shoulder dislocated when I was wrestling with the guy, and I tapped out. Obviously, the haters love to watch that fight and be like, oh, look, he tapped out for no reason. I was trying to push the guy off, my shoulder slipped out of place. So I don't miss it, and I'm very lucky that I'm in the position where, like with prison, I see good in every situation. I can't go back to it now. So it's fine, I did it. I'm very proud of myself. I'm the 2-time European champion. 28, car crash, I've washed my hands of it. I still stay in good physical condition. I still train very hard. I still take my health very seriously. But going back to fighting isn't an option I have. When you look at some fighters, we were talking about them earlier, I'm not gonna name and shame anyone because I respect every boxer who's ever got in the ring. But some guys, they're old, they're still getting in the boxing ring, they're still fighting people they shouldn't. They don't know what else to do. I had to move on. So by definition, I can't miss it because going back isn't an option. So I got very lucky. Andrew misses it a lot more because he could always get back into perfect shape and go fighting again. So he misses it a lot more, and it's haunted him up until about 2 or 3 years ago. He was like, oh, did I do the right thing retiring? Should I have gone back? 5th world title, 6th world title, because it's just who he is. He's a warrior in his soul, and he loves war. But war can be just, and war can be noble. It doesn't have to be, what we typically think of as war. Andrew's at war with the world, and he always has been. Andrew 14, 15 years ago, I'd watch an internet debate. I can't remember the exact debate I was watching. I think it was one of the, back when Intelligence Squared used to host those debates. I used to watch those 14, 15 years ago, before everyone's attention span was ruined by TikTok. And I said to Andrew, you have to come and watch this debate. It was absolutely amazing. I think it was about reparations in the United States. It was on the issue of reparations. I said, there's a great debate, Andrew, you have to come watch it. And he looked at me and went, we're broke, Tristan. I said, what? He goes, you're sitting there watching debates. We have no money. How are we gonna pay the rent? We are broke. He was furious And he was always at war, like singularly focused on becoming successful in every single metric, which was very cool because then it inspired me. I was like, yeah, what am I watching debates for? I don't know how to pay the electricity bill to keep watching these next month. Let's get to work. So he's always inspired me a lot, but he's been at war with the world in a very healthy and positive way.
Have you guys always lived together?
Yeah, always. Always. From living in my mother's house to moving out together, and I don't know why I wouldn't live with him. People say like, oh, it's weird you share a house. I've got 9 bedrooms. You've seen this place. If I want private space, if I want to sit by myself or, with my girlfriend or, I've got plenty of room to be alone. But he's always...
Why do people say it's weird to live with your brother?
I have no idea. I feel like Western society, the ideas that are purported to young men to divide, if you have 3 or 4 brothers in a family, go to different universities, study different things, pay a bunch of different rents to a bunch of different people. The idea, which is more Middle Eastern, of pooling your resources and keeping the family together is not something the West pushes anymore. I've heard have you ever heard the expression, never mix family with business?
Oh, of course.
Why? Every penny that me and Andrew make goes into joint bank accounts. We've shared all of our resources forever, since we had no money to now we have a lot of money. Why shouldn't you mix family with business? Who else are you going to trust?
I agree.
The man I grew up with and knew my entire life, or some guy who I met last year?
Why do they say that?
For the same reasons they do everything. That destroys the nuclear family, the modern society, the idea of men being close friends and being, respectful to one another and working together as a team. They want you all divided. Because when you're fighting an individual war against your life, the struggle, your bank balance, maybe your wife, your kids who don't respect you, when you're fighting that individual war, you're never going to unite and fight any kind of war that you need to fight together. Even in Romania, look, 1989, there was a massive revolution here.
Yeah.
Say what you want about communism and Ceausescu, and I hate communism, and I don't want communism to come anywhere, neither do the Romanians. But Romania is a traditional society, a Christian society. Nuclear family is very, very important to them. Family values are very important to them. How many drug addicts have you seen on the streets?
None.
Zero. Why? Because if a Romanian becomes a drug addict, his parents, his grandparents, someone will take him in, get him off the drugs. That's the backbone of society. We have zero funding here. That's why I'd never sue this country. Zero for anti-drug programs, mental health programs. How many crazy people are harassing you when you walk around?
None.
There we go. The family is very, very important. And I love Romania. So yeah, and they throw revolutions when they don't like something. They overthrew the president 6 years ago. They'll get together and say, no, we've had enough.
Well, they shot Ceausescu and his wife.
They shot him and his wife. Indeed they did. Executed him. But I'm not a fan of communism, and neither are the Romanians. But Ceausescu wasn't, if you know about his life, he wasn't necessarily an evil man. But he was a completely uneducated man. It's easy in 2023 to say communism doesn't work. I know it doesn't work. You know it doesn't work. It's 1945, Romania. Communism's a new idea. Everyone's broke. Maybe we should try this. Some of the people who got into it and bought into it didn't necessarily do it with the worst of intentions.
Right.
Anyone pushing communism today is either thinks they're working under good intentions because they don't understand history at all. Like I said, lack of understanding of history. Or they're evil. They're truly evil because we know it doesn't work and we know how it ends up.